Hi, you guys. So they definitely say third time's a charm. As funny as it is, this is the third time I do this part of the experiment, and I just discovered it that I did not record sound. So you see me all animated, hands going everywhere, and nothing. And I realized that when I did that 2 days ago. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it again and not mess it up. And guess what your teacher did again? She messed it up. And so it's so funny watching a video with hand motions and everything and no sound. So here we go for the third attempt. So third time's a charm. All right, so here is going to be part one of the experiment. What you want to do is measure 100 milliliters of water, which I already have preset here in my graduated cylinder. You need to go weigh out 5 grams of magnesium sulfate. So here is my container, magnesium sulfate. All right, and this is going to be the anhydrous magnesium sulfate. You don't want it to have any water in here. A brand new bottle is going to be better because this compound does absorb water from the atmosphere and does become a little moisture, I guess, in there. That's kind of the reason why in part 3 of the experiment, you're going to notice that we will dehydrate the sodium acetate just because. Thank you, Ms. Templeton. Because that one, we didn't have the anhydrous version. We only had the 3 molar, we had the sodium acetate in 3 moles of water. And so right in here, this is going to be a fancy-dancy little magnetic plate and stir. Because this one right here, in order to do the experiment, we want to be able to mix my solution. And so I'm going to go ahead and just use a glass beaker for right now, just so you can go ahead and see what it is. And here's my magnetic pill. It looks like kind of like a little aspirin, but don't swallow it. Okay, so you put it in here. You've got 2 knobs. You got this little red squiggly knob, and that one is heat. And then the green swirly one is going to be for the magnetic stir. All right, so when I turn it on, you're going to see this little thing spin around. I know you can't see it from your angle, so let me go ahead and get my computer and go for an aerial view. So that's what it does. Now I'm going to use my actual coffee cup and do it in there, but this way you can kind of get a nice little visual of what's happening. So place it in here, put my stirrer on there, turn it off, and then turn it back on. Now, as funny as it is, you don't want to turn on the heat. Your styrofoam cup, not a good thing to turn on the heat and cook it. It does have a weird, funky little smell. And the reason why I can tell you that is because our V-Day babies were like, oopsies, they turned on the wrong clip. So I was like, what is that smell? That doesn't smell good. So that was a quick stop. We didn't actually really burn the coffee cup. There was nothing major, but we can smell it. It was just fun. All right. So here is my weighing boat on my scale. I'm going to zero it out because I only want 5 grams of my magnesium sulfate. I don't want 5 grams minus the boat. So zero it out. Now I'm ready to start to scoop it out to get 5 grams. So I'm going to go ahead and get the spatula and scoop it out and put it in. So that's 2.2. I have some extra from earlier. Like I said, this is like third time the charm. I'm just going to pour it over because that way I don't have to waste it. And it's never smart and never good to put it back into my original container. We don't want to cross-contaminate. So we're at 4.0, just a little bit more. 4.1, 4.6, 4.7, just a little pinch more. 4.9, a little more squidget. There we go, 5.0. All right, so I'm exactly at 5.0 grams of my magnesium sulfate. This is the anhydrous version. You can see it right there. So the next part of the experiment is going to want you to take the temperature of this solution. I'm going to go ahead and put my thermometer. Oh, I don't even have my water yet. Let's do that. All right, so here is my graduated cylinder. We already pre-measured it. It does have 100 milliliters of water. When making your measurements, make sure your eye level, because this is not 100, this is 99. It's okay, we'll forgive Ms. Templeton. She's the one that set it up. All right, so let's go ahead and add just a little bit more. Perfect. All right, so here we are. Here is the 100 milliliters of water. If I can hold this straight, you can see it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pour it into my calorimeter coffee cup. I'm going to take the temperature of my water. All right, the temperature of my water is slightly shy of 23. So 23.5 degrees Celsius is the temperature of my water. I'm going to take my magnesium sulfate and I'm going to pour it in. And then I'm going to quickly take the temperature. Okay. I want to be eye level to it as I'm seeing my temperature change. I can see that it's gone up. Here we are. It is at 28 degrees Celsius. Is that as high as it's going to go? It's past the line by a tiny bit. It's halfway there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call it. The temperature for this is 28.5 degrees Celsius. All right, we're going to do this a second time to make sure we get a good average data in here. Some good accurate results. I did see an ant coming out. I don't know. So not that I've ever really been into class pets, but I've got this whole ant infestation going on here. And so, I don't know, they're kind of joining me in the experiment right now. I just didn't want to get bit. They're red with little black butts. So I'm thinking they're fire ants. Miss Templeton was looking at them saying, there might be wood ants. If they're wood ants, it's not a good thing. All right, so I got my magnetic stirrer again. I have already pre-measured my 100 milliliter water. I'm going to go ahead and pour that in here. I'm going to take the temperature of this. And the temperature of this water right here is, and water is sitting right at the 20 mark. It was kind of hard to read. So, all right, so this water is a little warmer than the other one. This one's sitting at 22.8 degrees Celsius. I've already pre-weighed my anhydrous magnesium sulfate. I'm going to go ahead and pour it in here. Put my coffee lid cover on top, and then quickly take my new temperature read. I'm watching my little mercury thermometer rise up. Not mercury, I keep calling it mercury. It's an alcohol thermometer. I'm going to read the highest temperature it gets up to. I'm at 29 right now. How high can we go? Come on. And this one's right at 29.0 degrees Celsius. It stopped. Okay, now that I have completed both trials of my magnesium sulfate, I'm now going to move on to the next part of my experiment in which I'm getting the calibration. Sorry, I'm going to be seeing the temperature change of water. So two different temperatures, one at 20 degrees and one at 50 degrees.